How is everyone today? Leah Marie here again. I'm a holistic wellness and certified Chopra teacher focused in Ayurveda. I also have been a meditation teacher for many years. I am doing this week and maybe even going forward, depending on the feedback of what you need. I want to remind everyone that I'm going to be the stewardess today, okay? I'm going to remind you that in order to take care of the people around you, you need to take care of you. And that's something, we're really challenged with right now because there's a lot of people that need care. But if you're not taking care of you, if you don't put that oxygen mask on, then you won't be able to administer help to somebody that's in your life near you, or if you're a medical professional, it's very difficult for anybody to be caring for anybody when you're having fear, having lack of sleep, not eating right, not making sure you take a few minutes for you. We are human. We are not robots. We are meant to go with the rhythm of a 24-hour period, and our brains need certain things. Our bodies need a lot of care. There's a lot of things that we need to achieve in that 24-hour period in order for us to perform ultimately. And so I know a lot of us are probably not doing anything right now for ourselves. I know myself, I've been spending so much time trying to manage, what types of supplies are needed for this, this social distancing, so that you can be exposing less exposed and not exposing others if you do have something in a carrier and unaware. So it's kind of stressful. It's a new way of life, and it's going to be here for a while. But in the meantime, we are still humans, and we need to honor that and make sure that we are caring for ourselves properly. So that's what I'm here to do, is to remind you guys, and also supplement some information to you. Yesterday I did meditation, EFT. I showed a little bit about essential oils. Today I would like to show you a technique that's very effective for releasing any emotions. I know I've gone through a whole spectrum of emotions since this whole thing has begun, like, kind of shock, disbelief, fear. I've had some fear. I'm human, so I've had some fear, I'll admit it. Also just kind of relief that I can be home more and without feeling like guilty about, okay, I'm spending too much time here. But I'm fortunate that I am able to do some work from home. And, I feel a lot of compassion for those of you that can't work from home and are challenged with that kind of situation. So I think we need to come together in that and realize, we've got to look at things from a different perspective. When we see our neighbors challenged, maybe we need to figure out how to help them more. And so that's all I'm going to say about all of that. I want to dive right in because I'm only taking 20 minutes of your time to ensure that you are providing yourself with enough care. And I'm going to share a few techniques. But I want to read something first that I found yesterday. I think it's very appropriate. Are you tired? Are you worn out? Are you burnt out on religion? Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay any heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. And that was Matthew 11:28 through 30. And this is from Keep Calm and Trust God. So I'm not one to really get deep into religion or anything like that, but I am a great believer in faith, and I do have an extreme faith. I had a near-death experience, and so back in 2001, I was training a horse that reared up and fell over backwards on top of me, and she was, about 1,100 pounds of weight landing on me. So it did stop my heart. Fortunately, my father, who had taken CPR about 30 years before, resuscitated me. So that was pretty cool and amazing that he was able to do that. When I came back from the other side, he was very distraught. He was still trying to perform compressions on my chest and crying and saying, you know, she's dead, she's dead. And honestly, I didn't know who he was talking about at first. When I did have that trip to the other side, I didn't see anybody that I knew. It wasn't that kind of experience for me. But I will tell you that there was this sense of peace and love that I experienced, like there's no earthly description I can attach to it, except for if you have ever felt that, if you've ever felt like so loved, so complete, and you know, maybe somebody's giving you a hug, or you're just so peaceful, you're in your bed, you're warm, and somebody's hugging you. That's, you know, that's about only a fraction of what I felt. When I came back into my body, I came back in from the right side, and it was quite evident. You know, people have asked me, you know, how do you know this is true? I don't, but what I experienced is what I experienced, and I'm only sharing it so people can understand. But when I came back in, it was going from that beautiful, nurturing love into a body of pain, and it was so, you know, the evidence was to me that it was so black and white. It was so evident to me, the contrast that was happening from where I was coming from and where I was going. So that's a little bit about my personal experience and why I have gone into teaching this kind of stuff. I suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder afterwards because I kept thinking my heart was going to stop. You know, it was a very difficult, long recovery for me. But that was many years ago, and I had found so much solace and so much growth in me from just going through the experiences of having to manage my own stress about death and dying and all of those things. And so I have taught EFT for many years. I showed this book yesterday, Emotional Freedom Technique, Getting Through to Your Emotions with EFT, by Dr. Philip Mountrose and Jane Mountrose, and they were actually who taught me EFT. Gary Craig is the founder. He founded EFT in 1996. There's a lot of veterans that have post-traumatic stress disorder that use EFT. They've been trained EFT by some different programs that are associated with helping veterans recover from post-traumatic stress disorder. I have taught it many times, you know, throughout the healthcare field. Have a focus in dementia care. I'm a dementia certified dementia practitioner, and I also have various caregiver stress management programs that I train caregivers on. I've done a lot of training for the Alzheimer's Association. So EFT has been a big part of that training, and it's so simple, it's so easy, it looks a little strange, and I'm going to go through a sequence so that you can understand it. But if you want to get the actual layout of a short sequence, you can email me at info@mindhealthcoach.com. My website is mindhealthcoach.com. Again, the email is info@mindhealthcoach.com, and I will send you the short sequence, all of the instructions so that you can do it. But we're going to do a little video here today so that you'll have a precursor to what I'm talking about. So Emotional Freedom Technique is about tapping on different acupuncture points, and it is taking your pointer finger and your middle finger, and you tap on these certain points on your face, on your collarbone, under your arm, and around on the top of your head. And you're also using breathing, some deep breathing in this, affirmations to release energy. From a spiritual standpoint, you're kind of thinking that you are taking in energy that's healing you and you're releasing energy that doesn't serve you any longer. So that's what, the spiritual aspect of EFT is. It's we supposedly have these energy pathways that travel vertically, and that we can do this. So that's what the whole little explanation of emotional freedom technique is. And about the veterans, it is documented that over 10,000 veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder have found that emotional freedom technique is very effective for their post-traumatic stress. I can tell you, as a recovered person from post-traumatic stress disorder, I have been able to manage so much. I lost my mother, grief. I was doing EFT a lot. I was sick with Lyme disease. I've had it 4 times. I was hospitalized with it. I used EFT because I was pretty close to checking out then too. I had spinal meningitis with Bell's palsy back in 2018. So I used a lot of EFT, and there's been other things that I've had to use it for. Like I said, anger, just angry at this situation. I'm very upset that we're here. I, like a lot of people, felt that we were more prepared as not even, defining country, but as humanity, to handle something of this nature that, being in healthcare for over a decade, I felt we knew a lot. And that's just arrogance of humanity. We are humbled during this whole occurrence. And as I said, we need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. Those of you that are parents, you need to take care of yourself. Those of you that are healthcare workers, you need to take care of yourself. So just remember that you need this time. So emotional freedom technique is just for you. And it's you that you can do it anywhere. You can do it in the car. You can do it, in the bathroom if you don't want to have anybody see you doing it. You can do it in a group energy for other people's emotions, because it's emotional freedom technique. Detoxifying the emotion can be done in a group, and we can do it for each other. So say somebody's having a lot of anxiety, we can do emotional freedom technique. And in fact, I'm going to be holding a weekly class on that online too. So I'm going to do the sequence right now. You're going to actually choose whether you want to set up your affirmation statement with the karate chop, which is doing this. Some people do it like this. Or on your chest, there's a little point that's kind of uncomfortable. And it's, if you go over 2 inches about from the collarbone and down about 2 inches, you will feel it in your chest, and you can go clockwise and counterclockwise, and just waking your energy system up. This is waking your meridian pathways up. And when you're doing this, either this or this, you get to choose. Some people don't like this part. You state what you are feeling and that you accept it. So I'm going to do it with the karate chop, and I'm going to say, even though I have anxiety and stress and fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay? And then you move on, you take a nice deep breath. And you want to evaluate too. You want to evaluate on a scale of 1 to 10, so you nurses can appreciate this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how you are feeling with those emotions. Is it 1 being not affected, or 10 being very affected? So you want to evaluate that. And I recommend keeping a journal, writing the triggering circumstance of the emotion down. You can do this right in the midst of something. You can do it before a situation where you're going into something that you know will provoke these emotions. And you can do it afterwards as well. You can do it for yourself afterwards. And it is said that on this scale of 1 to 10, that if you're doing it in the sequence of 3 times, which I'm going to do the sequence in just a moment, I just wanted to explain this point. If you do that 3 times, that you will start to see that 1 to 10 scale start to drop down. The first will probably drop down to about a 5 to 7. And then the second sequence after you do, I mean, the third sequence after you do that, you'll probably be from 0 to 3. And so when you do this whole sequence, that's the experience. And if you have the triggering circumstance again, it is more than likely that you will not ever experience that high level of 7 or 8 or 10 again. You may experience it again. You may have other triggering circumstances that affect you that you need to do emotional detoxification for, but it will never be at that maximum 10. Okay, so with that being said, let's get on to the sequence. We did our karate chop, we did our affirmation statement. We're gonna start with the actual tapping. We're gonna take a nice deep breath in. My deep breaths, and you know, in general, you should do your deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. You're gonna go in through the nose about 1 to 4 counts, 1 to 5 counts, out through the mouth, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. Okay, in between you're holding it. So we're gonna go in, hold it, and out. Okay, now you're going to begin the sequence. So you're going to have the fingers, as I mentioned, you're going to tap lightly, only about 5 to 7 times. You're going to tap lightly in the beginning of your eyebrows, and you're going to state your emotion. You're going to call that emotion up, but you're tapping this emotion out. So you're calling up fear, anxiety, and stress. And it's fear, anxiety, and stress. You think about that moment that you started feeling that, or the moments that you feel that, and you're tapping it. You're tapping it to think about it, to bring it into your energy center. You're going to tap under your eyes 5 to 7 times, 5 to 9 times. And you're going to tap under your nose. You can use both hands or just one. You're going to feel that feeling, this emotion, this fear, anxiety, and stress. You state it at every tapping point. Tap on the beginning of your collarbone, this emotion of fear, anxiety, and stress. I like to start changing it up as I go into my arm. This emotion of fear, anxiety, and stress is starting to move away. It's starting to leave my body, okay? And then you tap on the top of your head and you state, this emotion has been replaced by complete peace and knowing that everything is okay. Everything is okay. We are okay. Take another nice deep breath in. Okay, so we only have a few minutes left, and I wanted to address a meditation technique. And again, I am available. You can contact me by info@mindhealthcoach.com. Leah Marie, Mind Health Coach. So this here, I want to bring up a couple things. This book, Change Your Schedule, Change Your Life. Great book, great resource to help you get those circadian rhythms of what I talked about, you know, in line with what you need to take care of your humanness. All right. Now, we're going to balance our root chakra, because right now I think the whole of humanity is feeling unsafe, feeling insecure, feeling, you know, not knowing what's going on. So let's work together to balance that. So how you do that is, I want you to close your eyes and envision the color red. Okay, I know that's kind of a strange request, but I'm asking you to think about the color red, to visualize it in your mind's eye, the color red. Okay, and while you're doing that, I want you to do this nice word, which it resonates with the vibration of your root chakra, our root chakra and the chakra systems. It's representative of safety, security. It's what we need for our basic feelings of safety. So I want us to feel safe today, and I want us to use the color red and this word, which is a Sanskrit word, to balance your chakra. It's a vibrational thing. So it's going to sound a little funny, but it's going to help you balance that chakra. Okay, so you're going to say the word Lam, and you're going to say it like you're singing it. Lam. Lam. Okay, so we're up with our time. I want to be respectful of your time, but do that. Do that in a group together. If you can gather some of your coworkers together online, If you can gather together with your inner family in your home and do this, visualizing the color red and stating LAM, it will help balance you. And, I'm really praying for all of those heroes that are out there risking their lives, taking care of the sick folks that are out there with COVID-19 and other crises that are happening with health. So I wish you all the best. Namaste. God bless.